Well, the crypto market has been taking an absolute beating today, seeing things like Bitcoin dropping as low as $92,000 and the total market cap of altcoins falling as low as $1.3 trillion. Now, as a result of, all of this dumping that we've been seeing, Granny getting kicked down the stairs, a lot of investors are wondering, man, is this going to end anytime soon? And so what I wanted to do today, even though my freaking microphone broke and I have to use this crappy Mac microphone, I wanted to make a video for you really quick, just tell you a little bit about what is going on and what I'm doing as a result of it. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. And let's first and foremost start off with what is going on in the market. Well, what we can see here is that it's ugly, guys. I mean, it's ugly. No niche, no narrative, no size crypto is being spared. We're seeing everything like WIF, like Rune, like ADA, like AI16Z, Pingu, Bitcoin, Solana, all of them. Everything is dropping right now as Bitcoin's price does head back towards the bottom side of this range, and Total 2 does continue to venture towards the bottom side of this descending channel. Now, there hasn't been any major news today that did cause this pullback, but it has seemingly come off the back of that jobs report that we did get from the U.S. economy just a couple of days ago, which seemed to spark all of this. What's interesting is that I do believe, and I'm going to get a little tinfoil hatty here for a second, so don't mind my conspiracy theories, but I do believe that oftentimes when we get news like that, the news that we get that sparks these pullbacks are then like the pullback is then amplified as a result of manipulation and squeezes happening, right? Because quite frankly, like, sure, the jobs news wasn't the best, but it wasn't something that should have caused a pullback like this. But as we did get the jobs news, it is just a coincidence, I suppose, that at that same exact moment, we saw hundreds of millions, billions of dollars that were sitting in liquidations for long trades, meaning that as the market was going up and as we did start to see, of course, something like Bitcoin pushing over $100,000 and pushing out of this red box, we started to see everybody get greedy. Everyone, I'm talking everybody that I saw all over Twitter, all over the socials, all over the back end analytics, everybody's opening up 100x leverage trades, 50x leverage trades, 25x leverage trades, betting that this market was going to go up as we were running into the golden resistance zone. And I'm sat back thinking, and I made these videos, you can go fact check me on this. I told you, like, hey, yeah, it's a good sign that we got the breakout, and this could be a huge moment, but we need to be on the lookout for if this golden zone can break. Can we actually start clearing some of these resistance points, or is this just going to be a fake out? I even said it in the school on the 6th, guys. It's the 9th today, 3 days ago. I said the reason it's so important that we break these golden zones is that this is the most likely level to turn this breakout into a fake out, forcing this market downwards. And that's exactly what happened. And that's why you need to be aware that, sure, yes, the jobs news was something that wasn't good, but you have to be able to pull back. You have to kind of put on your tinfoil hat, look at this and think, listen, everyone's going huge on leverage right now at a major resistance zone. If you don't think that's easy pickings for the lizard people to start pushing this thing downwards a little bit, disguise their manipulation behind all of these news events and stuff that come out, I just think that you're not really paying a lot of attention. And again, maybe I sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, but I've seen it over and over and over again, and I just truly believe it at this point. And so now, again, there's not been any new news. There's nothing new that's causing this pullback. I do just believe that it's a force of manipulation at this point. I believe the bad news that we got from the jobs report sparked it, and I think manipulation's taken it this much lower. There were hundreds of millions of dollars of liquidations that were sitting towards the downside of a bunch of long traders expecting this market to go up, and now those people have been liquidated. And as we can see here, if we actually head out to liquidations, there's really not much left. Like, let's kind of give this a refresh. There's not many liquidations left. At one point, guys, when we were at $102,000, there were hundreds of millions, probably billions of dollars of liquidations on the downside, meaning that if the crypto market went down, they would get liquidated on the 1 day. We saw it on the 7 day. We saw it on the 30 day. And look at it now. Look at it now. Look at the 7 day specifically. Look how little liquidations there are left to the downside. It's because look at what the market did. The moment the whales or the lizards, whoever you want to call them, had the opportunity to force this market down to liquidate all those people, they did. And this is something I was warning you about over and over and over again. I'm not saying I predicted this to happen. I just told you this is something that is possible. So it's not time to get too far ahead of yourself. Now is not time to be doing big purchases, big leverage trades, none of those things, because this is always a risk and we're at major resistance zones like this. And that's exactly what we got. Now, as a result of all of this, and as the market is pulling back, a lot of you are now wondering, when is this going to end? And although, guys, I obviously have no idea when this is going to end, I can tell you we are starting to get some good signs from this market. For example, I would say the most important sign is the fact that we're drying up in liquidations. There are not many liquidations between where we are now and $83,000, $85,000 on the 7 day. There's a little bit of liquidations left towards like 90,000 on the 30 day, and there's practically no liquidations below 91,000 here on the 1 day, meaning that the vast majority of the long traders who are getting too greedy have now lost. They have been liquidated. And what I've come to recognize is that in moments like this, where we do see these liquidations happen, this is usually when you're getting to a point where the market is going to try to start to reverse, at least trying to get some sort of relief towards the upside. Not saying it's going to completely just send it, but some sort of relief back upwards here on these, and on Bitcoin, and of course, maybe on something like Total too. Now, interestingly enough, as we are starting to see these liquidations dry up, we are seeing the crypto market hitting key support zones, and our indicators are flashing buy signals. So what you can see here, for example, is that something like Total 2 has now hit the 50% threshold. I actually released an entire little thread earlier today on why it hitting the 50% threshold is a good thing, and why the fact that we were seeing some purchases coming in at that 50% threshold was a good thing. Earlier on my Twitter today is that Tyler Crypto Talk, if you do want to go follow that. But this is a good thing. The fact that we are now hitting this 50% threshold means that we're starting to finally interact with major support levels, big support levels. And it doesn't mean the 50 is going to hold, but it means that we're seeing some bullish territory now, a place where the bulls will be willing to step in and try to force the price upwards and try to start to reverse this thing, which should start to slow this dip down. Yeah, it might continue lower. It might head back in the green box, just like it did right here, just like it did right here. That is very possible. But again, do you notice that once we got towards this green box for the altcoin market, for example, this was towards the end of the pullback? That is what I mean. We should be getting very close towards the end of this thing. Now, at the same time that this is happening, you can kind of look and see how things are playing out on something like the 4-hour RSI. We are very oversold. We're now in the same position that we were in right here, in the same position that we were in right here. Not meaning that it's a guaranteed chance that the market goes up like it did here, but just meaning we're starting to hit some of these major levels that historically will imply that the dip is either at a bottom or we're getting close to the bottom. If you do look at something like, let's go to the RSI heat map itself so you can see how all the RSIs are shaping out. Look at how they've all nosedived. I mean, look at the 24-hour, for example. We basically are seeing every major crypto on the daily seeing its RSI below the 50% threshold, and many of them now in the weak oversold zone. Again, they could go lower. They could go deep into the oversold zone. They're not there yet. So there is still room to the downside here, and the market might continue falling. But the likelihood is that we are now entering into a good territory to start trying to do some purchasing and to start actually picking up some cryptos, because while we are seeing liquidations to the bottom side drying up, we are seeing our indicators start resetting and showing these oversold signals and showing these weak signals again, which is usually a good thing. And so my general opinion here is that I am still concerned about the short term. If you guys remember, I released the T8 index a couple days ago on the 7th, and I told people, and this was 2 days ago. I said 2 days ago that I am concerned about the short term. I am still thinking there will be irrational movements. Look at what I said right here. I expect that we will see a ton of liquidations, manipulation, and irrational market behaviors over the next coming days. And look what we're seeing from the market today. So I am still concerned about the short term, but I definitely am becoming more optimistic. And my optimism actually is branching out to a degree in which I am doing some dollar cost averaging today. I will actually share this with you. This is something I don't usually do here on the channel. I did it yesterday and I do want to do it again today. But I actually do want to share with you some of the things that I am currently planning on purchasing sometime this morning. I told everybody in the crypto school that I am going to be doing some purchasing on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XLM, ADA, HBAR, Pepe, XRP, Casper, SHIB, ISP, AVAX, Phantom, or the S token, and SWI all today, because I am actually getting optimistic about this move that we are seeing right now. These aren't going to be huge purchases. I'm not throwing every dollar I have into this market, but I do believe that we're getting to a spot that is a good spot to start dollar cost averaging. I think picking up some purchases here is a good idea for me, at least, because even if we do head towards the downside, I think that the dip would be coming towards an end, and I think some sort of relief would be on the way. So I could just start buying even lower and even lower, lower that average cost from the one that I open up today, and then start to have a pretty sizable and solid position if the market does get relief to the upside like that. Very similarly to what we were seeing right here, right? I don't think if you purchased right here, that was a bad time to purchase. Obviously not huge purchases, because I'm not doing huge purchases right now. And even though the market did continue downwards, it did eventually work itself upwards. And these purchases were slowly, as you did buy more and more over time as it did go lower, you were able to lower that cost off these purchases right here, lower that average cost, and end up in profit very much sooner. And so For me, I think there's an opportunity we may be somewhere like right here where it may continue lower. But hey, the market changes all the time, and maybe we don't. Maybe this market rallies to the upside. Maybe it does start to try to break out. Maybe now that the liquidations to the downside are over, all of these short traders who are getting all greedy, because look at this, like all these short traders who are getting greedy, maybe it's their turn. And maybe we're going to see the market start to reverse and try to target all those short traders and get them. And I was able to get a good purchase maybe at the bottom, right? You never know. And I'm not pretending like I know here, guys. I don't know if this is going to be the bottom. I don't know if this is going to be the bottom. But what I do know is that whether this is the bottom or isn't the bottom, I do think it's a good time to start dollar cost averaging. And that's what I'm doing personally today. And I am going to be buying a bunch of those different cryptos. And I will be letting you school members know when I do purchase them down below. And don't forget, if you are interested in the school, I'll tell you a little bit more about it later. And so with that in mind, guys, my general thoughts on the market are that, look, to summarize, the market's falling as a result of pure manipulation, in my opinion. I know some people are going to disagree with me, call me a conspiracy theorist. It is what it is. I do believe that the lizard people use these pieces of news as disguises to force liquidations, to cause them to manipulate and force liquidations that allow them to take the crypto from retail investors. That is what I truly believe happens. That's what I believe is happening right now. And now that there's not going to be much benefit towards the downside, I do start to expect that now that the market is showing signs of being oversold, indicators are flashing buy signals, I do think that we are going to see the market try to get some relief towards the upside, either at this 50% mark here for total two, or possibly one more rip towards the downside, and then it's going to start to get some relief. But I do expect that relief to happen sometime soon. And because of that, I am going to start doing some small dollar cost averages now. And I plan on buying more and more and more the lower that this market does go. And if we just so happen to see total two enter into this green box, I will be doing very big purchases because historically this is a fantastic time to be buying. Look back here, look right here. So that's my strategy and that's my plan. And I know it's very simple. And again, I know some of you don't like when I get all conspiracy theorists, but it's truly just what I believe. And that's what I think we're seeing in the market. So that's what I'm doing right now. And so with that in mind, of course, I'll continue to update you as this all does play out. If you are interested, I will leave the link to the school down in the description below. What we do at the school is very simple. We take crypto investors like yourselves. We give you courses, coaching, classes, live streams, workshops, signals, research, Q&As, and much more to help you develop your strategies, because strategies are what generate gains. And the best part about it is if you can't learn anything from all this value we're giving you, we'll just give you your money back. And it starts as little as $5 a month. And guys, you don't have to just take it from me that gains are generated over in the server. You can see it for yourself. If I go to the community gain section, you can see what's going on here. One of our coaches last night had a $33,000 gain, $19,000 gain, $11,000 gain. And you can learn from people who are generating hundreds of thousands of dollars a day from trading. And look what the community itself is doing: 60, 50, 100, 150, 30. Like, the gains that are being printed here are more than I've ever seen before, even on days like yesterday, which was not a good day. So if you want to be a part of that, feel free to go check out the link down in the description below. As I did mention before, it will take you over to the Patreon, which is where you can go sign up for as little as 15 or as $5 a month. And there's an even better tier at 17 bucks a month. So feel free to go check that out. All of that is available for you there. I'll let the school members know when and what I do buy later today. And of course, I do probably intend to make another video today as this all does play out for you. So be sure that you do stick around and get ready for that. But of course, I hope you guys do enjoy these quick update videos. Sorry about the audio quality. I will go get a new microphone in a second here. So I will have another better audio video for you later today. And I hope you guys did enjoy. Peace, everybody.